First. What's up, Bobby?
Same old. Welcome to Every Day with Trey, Bar Edition 2.0.
Thank you.
This is the second edition of this beautiful new series that's part of Every Day with Trey. And, Trey's wearing his Gangsta Nipples shirt this evening. Gangsta Nipples.
This is my Get My Hair Done shirt because, here, take the thing. Because in the back it's all messed up. So I thought I could just walk in to a place like Hair Cutter and get my hair did. Not the case. So I still need someone to get my hair did.
So how about those Eagles?
I'm happy they lost. I'm assuming you are too. But the rest of the league is pissed.
So my question is, Joe Judge. This goes out to you, buddy, if you ever see this. The coach of the Giants. I don't know if you know Trey.
I do.
How could you be such a big cocksucker and complain about the Eagles losing on a Sunday night? You're a 6-10 football team. If you wanted to make the playoffs, you should have won another game. You're 6-10. You don't deserve to make the playoffs. I can't see how you're complaining that you didn't make the playoffs. I don't know what you think about that, Trey.
No, see, I hear what I'd be pissed too if I was them. But as Eagles fans, we're pissed. I mean, we're happy. The players are upset because they went out there, they were risking injury, potentially career-ending injury, trying to win a game, and Doug Peterson, in my opinion, on purpose, didn't put them in the best position to win, which I'm happy about. I'll state that again.
As am I.
And I thought we could get better than a 6 pick, and even if you're switching from a 6 to 9, you do it because that game's meaningless.
As an avid football fan, Trey, I know that having the 6th overall pick in the NFL draft is much different than having the 9th overall pick in the NFL draft. You have much more leverage, even though it's only 3 picks.
Well, here's my thing. So I was rooting for the Eagles to make the playoffs as the Washington football team did. But the thing is, we're just going to mess that pick up anyway. We're gonna pick some guy we never heard of.
Six might be too high to even fuck up. It might be too hard to fuck up that.
No,
pick.
We'll still fuck it up, especially because Howie Roseman. I appreciate his GM capabilities, but he should not have any involvement of drafting.
It's terrible.
He's a terrible draft
really
guy.
missing Joe Douglas.
He's a good contract guy. He's a good signing free agents guy. But, as far as drafting, he's atrocious. So, in my opinion, let's move on to the Carson Wentz is fractured his relationship with Doug so much that he wants a trade.
So, I think Carson Wentz is 95% to be an Eagle come week 1. 95%. And I would go as far to say if he's an Eagle week 1, he will be the starter 98%. With 98% confidence, I'd say he'll be the starter as well.
I think both of those things are way too high percentage-wise, but I agree with both of those things, but just not as much. The problem is with, in my opinion, Doug should be fired. Doug is not the total fault. Neither is Carson. Neither is anybody total fault for how bad we did this year. But it's Doug. He's afraid of the run. I don't know what's the matter.
I think it's still a little too early to fire Doug. As I also think it's a year too early to give up on Carson Wentz after you just gave him $100 million. So we'll see how it goes next year. Hopefully the draft goes better. Hopefully free agency goes okay. Get some of this, old nonsense out of here, such as Peters, and don't overpay Zach Ertz. There's going to be a lot of moving with this roster. Guys like Alshon won't be back, and Malik Jackson.
God. So, another thing that Doug did lose us some games this year, and if you want to get real technical, he lost us that Redskins game where we did phenomenally in the beginning running the ball, and then he just so many times he abandons the run. If he got down 1 point, he would abandon the run. And
I can agree. Yeah.
There was a point there in the middle of the season where we were so bad at passing the ball, and yet he would still pass the ball in an inordinate amount of times.
So I'll leave you with this, Trey. I'm going to tell you now that if we move on from Carson Wentz, it's going to be the biggest mistake this franchise has ever made. That is my bold prediction. You might not agree with it. You might hate me for it. But I think if they give up on Carson Wentz and go to Jalen Hurts next year, it'll be the biggest mistake this franchise has ever made.
I think it would be a mistake. I don't mind holding on Hurts and still keeping him as a backup. In my opinion, when they benched Wentz, they should have brought him right back the next game. Maybe that would shake him up. But in my opinion, he gives not currently towards the end of the season. He wasn't giving us the best chance to win, but moving forward, he would. He has the ability to be a franchise quarterback. We know that for sure. In my opinion, Jalen Hurts looked fine in some of those games, and he did a lot of things with his legs. And those types of quarterbacks usually get figured out and are not as good moving forward. So I think it would be a huge gamble to say Hurts will be our new franchise quarterback.
I agree with you, Trey.
All right. Well, let me. So you said biggest mistake the Eagles have ever made. In your opinion, what is the biggest mistake the Eagles have ever made?
To this point,
because there's a definitive
answer.
answer.
I guess it's hard to say anything besides firing Andy Reid. I think that would be the.
See, I was for the firing of Andy Reid just because
change of scenery kind of thing. But
yeah.
Why? What would your answer be?
I always thought he was a good coach, and I never thought he was good enough to get over the hump. And now he's just coaching his behind off. Would
your answer be?
There's a definitive right answer to this question.
Drafting Jalen Reagor?
Well, that's not bad. But no, there's a gentleman by the name of Chris Carter that Buddy Ryan got rid of.
Chris Carter.
Whenever you get rid of a Hall of Famer, and says all he does is catch touchdowns. Clearly, defensive coach, and clearly doesn't really understand. Would never. I don't know if you're cutting somebody that only scores touchdowns.
Major issue.
Yeah.
But,
all right, folks.
Trey, it's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
I hope so.
Bar Edition 3.0.
All right, let's hope so.
See you.
Happy New Year, everybody. Go Birds.
Go Birds.